In today's show, Mike Hogan from the Travel Guys chats with Rachel Mackey about Rarotonga. The Smarter Mortgage lady Rachel Thompson is back to discuss what to do if you have less than 20% deposit. And award-winning piano accordion player Tracy Collins discusses how she's disrupting the music scene in a good way.
Planning your next post-COVID vacation? Be prepared with the help and expert advice of the Travel Guys.
Hello and welcome back to the Travel Guys, and my guest today, Rachel Mackey from Cook Islands Tourism.
Hi,
Welcome
Mike.
back, Rach.
Thank you.
We've covered Rarotonga, and let's talk about some of the outer islands. And you mentioned 15 islands. I know
Yes.
it's a huge area. Someone told me it's close to the size of Western Europe to cover all of the Cook Islands.
It is absolutely massive. Do not ask me to tell you exactly how far it's spread over the
I was going to
Pacific
do
Ocean.
that, and what the population are too. No, I mean, I remember reading an article about Palmerston Island. What a fascinating back history that is.
Yes.
But each of those little islands has got their uniqueness, but they're very difficult, they're expensive to get to because of the distances involved.
Yep.
And the one that always is brought up, though, the jewel in the crown, is Aitutaki.
Yes.
The magical island of Aitutaki.
Yep. Heaven on earth is how we describe Aitutaki. It's absolutely beautiful. It is less than a 50-minute flight from Rarotonga,
Yep.
and Air Raro provide daily flights, in fact, several times a day out of Rarotonga, so it's definitely easily accessible.
Right.
Yeah.
I've had the privilege of going there, and it is just something about it. I couldn't actually put my finger on why am I loving this place so much.
Yeah.
It's lovely. It's got beaches, and it's got palm trees, and it's got mountains and sea. Well, you have quite a few places around the Pacific who've got that, but there's
Yes.
just something that gets into your bones.
It's definitely magical. The lagoons are just amazing. The colours in Aitutaki, we like to say that we invented the colour blue. So it's definitely all about the lagoon. There's a great range of activities out on the lagoon for people to experience. One of the most popular is going out on one of the cruise boats, spending a day out on the lagoon, snorkeling off some of the sandbanks, seeing the giant clams, the giant trevally. It really is, it's just an amazing day, and the weather is usually outstanding.
Okay, of course. One Foot Island, is that the place to go?
Yes,
I went there years
so
ago.
One Foot Island's pretty spectacular, and the cruise boats will stop off on One Foot Island. Some of them you hop off and have a lovely barbecue lunch on the island, others you have your lunch on board, but it's a beautiful barbecue style lunch, and usually with amazing fresh fish on there as well.
I had the privilege of doing that many years ago, and tourism was really in infancy at Waitutaki. There was still only two places to stay, but we went out to One Foot Island, and our guide and his son, who was about 3 years old, he looked at anyhow, but he drove the boat and so on.
Yes.
And off the back, with the whole Hawaiian slings, a bit of steel
Oh, yes.
with a rubber in the end, like the clear, and came back 10 minutes later with lunch.
Wow.
Lit the fire, put a piece of corrugated over
Yeah.
and over the fire, cooked it up, cold beers, eating fresh fish just caught 10 minutes ago.
Yep, it's pretty spectacular,
It is
that's for
pretty
sure.
good, yeah.
It's also a great place for kite surfing. That's
Okay.
one of the most favourite sports of the island. And you get a lot of people travelling from all over the world to do kite surfing in Aitutaki.
Okay,
So,
no, I did
yeah.
not know that at all. And there's some beautiful accommodation there now, isn't
Oh,
it?
amazing accommodation. One of the misconceptions about Aitutaki is that it's always been super expensive and only those 5-star resorts. And don't get me wrong, we have some beautiful
Yes.
5-star resorts in Aitutaki. Pacific Resort Aitutaki would be one, adults only, from 12 and above, right on the beach and on the sunset side of the island. So really a fantastic place to stay. We also have the likes of Tamanui Beach Resort.
I stayed there.
Yes,
Loved
that
it.
is absolutely one of
Absolutely
my favourite. Nick and the team there do an amazing job. They were an adults only property, and then over COVID they decided to give families a go. So that is now family friendly on one side of the resort, because as you know, the resort's broken up into two parts with the restaurant in the middle. So if you are looking for adults only, you've still got that option there, but it's also a perfect place for families to stay as well.
Cool. I think it's important to stress, you've mentioned adults only a few times, that it is Rarotonga and the Cooks are a great place for families, but there's always that adults only option.
Yes, yeah, 100%. So if it's just a couple travelling and you're wanting to get away from the kids, then 100% we've got some amazing adults only properties. They range from 12 and above, 16 and above, 18 and above.
Cool.
Just depends on what you're after.
Cool. We really haven't got enough time to talk about the outer islands, but I think it's important to say that if people want to get right away from tourism, and experience something totally unique. The ability is there.
Yes,
and the island of
100%.
Attu is one that gets
Yes,
things to
so
mind.
Attu it would be our third most visited island. It's definitely has that remote feeling about it. We've got Attu Villas is the main accommodation provider on there, and I do believe that another accommodation is currently being built, so that is perfect. It's a great place for bird watchers to explore the caves, experience the tumanu, which is the earth oven.
That's right.
Yes.
Like an umu.
Like the umu. Yes. And so, definitely a great place to go.
Yeah. I spoke to a client once he just loved it. He loved the remoteness of it. He loved the lack of tourists.
Oh, yeah.
He
It's fantastic.
If you're looking for something like that, you can. Now,
Yes.
We might be running out of time soon, but I think we should mention what's the best time of year to go? What are the temperatures like generally throughout the year in the
So
Cooks?
the most popular time for Kiwis to travel is definitely in the New Zealand winter, and the temperatures over in the Cooks at that time range from about 22 right through to about 26 during the day. So definitely a nice tropical
So not
time to
heinously,
travel. So it's not heinously hot,
heat, no.
But also travelling through the summer period, so November through to April, that's where you get to experience warmer nights, a warmer lagoon, although in my opinion the lagoon always feels like a nice warm bath to swim in. So travelling year round to the Cooks is good. If you're flexible with your travel dates, you will often get specials and better airfares throughout the November through to April period.
Right, which is, we have to be honest, it is the rainy season, but that's same anywhere in the South
Call it the
Pacific.
rainy season, Mike.
Sorry. What's your house?
Slight drizzle.
The slight drizzle season.
So yes, it will definitely be more humid over that time. Temperatures can get up to 30 degrees. But as I said, if it's not raining, then you've got beautiful, hot, sunny days, warmer evenings.
Yep.
And if you are unfortunate enough to get a little bit of rain, you just jump on the buggy tour where you're going to get muddy anyway. So
Sounds good. But you mentioned 30 degrees. Well, my daughter's living under the moment, and having 30 degrees there, she's loving it. All the palms are going, this is terrible, we're going to die. She's just reveling in it, yeah.
No, it's a perfect weather for swimming and snorkeling and getting those cocktails in by the beach.
So really it's truly a year-round destination.
It is, yes. Yeah, we're very fortunate.
Okay, so we've got ease of access with both two carriers flying there. Mm-hmm. Is it about 4.5 hours flying time?
So on the way there, it's actually less than 4 hours.
Oh, okay.
Because of the winds on the way back, it's slightly more.
Yeah, okay. So just roughly about 4 hours then?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
And flights just about every day?
Correct, yes.
Okay. Huge range of accommodation, from
Massive.
backpackers right through to 5-star deluxe. Mm-hmm. And don't forget those villas. Some of those villas are
Those
breathtaking.
villas are amazing,
And they're
yes.
pretty cost effective. If you get a 2 or 3 bedroom villa shared between 2 or 3 couples,
Yes.
it's a great way to travel.
Absolutely.
Huge range of eateries. Mm-hmm. Okay. Some interesting things to go and see and do, both on water, underwater, and on land.
On land, yes. And in the air, if you want to do a scenic flight,
I didn't
that's
even think
available
about that.
too.
Yeah, I suppose so. Okay. Well, Rach, thanks so much for coming on. It's been a real pleasure having you on board. For people who want to find out more information about the Cooks, where would you direct them?
Visit our website, which is cookislands.travel, or go to your local travel professional.
Great. Thanks again, Rach.
You're welcome.
Hi, I'm Rachel, the Smarter Mortgage Lady, and I love helping people get into their own place to call home. When you're a first home buyer, there can be a number of challenges, especially if you have less than 20% deposit right now. Which bank should you go to? Do you have enough deposit? Can you use your KiwiSaver? And frankly, the documentation can be really overwhelming. So here's some advice from me. When it comes to getting your deposit sorted, yes, you can possibly use KiwiSaver to top up your deposit if you meet the criteria. Utilising Parents Help, or as we call it, the bank of mum and dad, can be both helpful and sometimes a little tricky, which is why it's good to have a third party like me involved. It's also important to understand there may be more conditions required on your lending approval, such as a registered valuation, as well as additional fees being applied in the form of a low equity fee or margin. If you're not sure what that means, you definitely need to chat with me. I provide a simple solution and processes to make the journey easier. As a financial advisor, I run the numbers to see if buying your first home is possible now or if it's best for you to wait. My job is to walk you through the process of a lending application so we can get you the approval you need to go shopping. I help you negotiate on the property to align with your finance timeline and create a loan structure that supports you and your lifestyle by spreading risk, giving you certainty of cost and flexibility of early repayment. I can work with your network of professionals like your lawyer or accountant, or recommend trusted industry professionals to assist you in the process. My services are free, and unlike a bank, you can talk to me whenever you need. So get in touch. It all starts by me crunching your numbers and seeing what's possible.
Do you find cleansers leave your skin feeling dry, hot, or squeaky clean? If so, it could be the detergents used in your cleanser irritating your skin. That's where Kathy Organics Bright Cleansing Lotion is different. Designed to help gently cleanse, soothe and brighten your skin without the use of detergents or harsh chemicals that create a foaming effect. This cream-based cleanser is even gentle enough to remove eye makeup and lipstick, as well as daily impurities that may cause inflammation or acne. Our clients love the results, with many users also sharing a noticeable difference in their dark spots and discoloration, while improving the overall radiance of their skin. If you're looking for a gentle, natural face cleanser that is paraben-free and powered by the best ingredients nature has to offer, try Kathy Organics Bright Cleansing Lotion. Well, if you are a music fan, you are going to love today's very special guest. She's a very dear friend of mine, and she has a magnificent musical machine. Here today in the studio, we have the amazing Tracy Collins. Wonderful to have you here. I feel like we need a big audience all clapping for you.
Oh, thanks.
Now, Tracy, you have brought in your tremendous piano accordion, and you are an absolute inspiration to me because you are literally disrupting music as we know it. Yeah. How did you get into becoming a professional piano accordion player?
Well, it was a hobby initially when I was very young. I tried all sorts of things, tennis to ice skating to God knows what, and music was kind of a natural progression because my dad played drums in the pipe band many years ago. Mum played piano, and so I just randomly picked up the accordion. My neighbour used to play it; he was in the Navy, and I was given 6 weeks to sort of give it a go, and that was it. I was hooked, and I've been doing it ever since. Probably 32 years. So.
Oh, I had no idea it was that long.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, and you are the consummate performer. I remember meeting you, I think it was 13 years ago.
Yeah,
we
that's
were both in the
right,
same course in music marketing.
Rainbow's End, yeah.
I know. And what really inspired me about you was, first of all, your love and your passion for the music industry as a whole, your love of collaboration, and also trying to think outside the box. Now, when we think piano accordion, it is a box. And you've decided to do something very different. So let's unpack that a little bit. So you've toured the world. Yep. You've played both classical, contemporary. I've heard you play
loosely classical, but
I've heard you play Latin. I've heard you play French music. I've even heard you playing dance music. Yeah. Where does that inspiration come from?
Well, just purely my love for music. I mean, it's inside my soul. I live and breathe it. I wake up in the morning, I put music on, everything that just inspires me. I'm constantly listening and researching lots of different music, listening to artists, and just filling myself with ideas. And it doesn't help when you're sleeping or when you're driving. You're constantly going, oh, there's a tune. Oh, there's a, but it's just me. It's just my life completely.
And you've literally toured the world as a professional artist as well. Tell me about that.
Well, there's still many places to visit, but I was very fortunate when I was 13. I trained with the New Zealand Accordion Orchestra in '96, and we did a month's tour throughout Switzerland, Austria, and Germany. We did 26 concerts in the month, and so there was 26 accordion players. And we were all in orchestra. It was choreographed. We were all outfits. We were all the crew set the gear up. So it was a whole big village of people, and it was an amazing experience. And from that point, being on stage performing, I just got hooked. And when I got back from that tour, I just really wanted to get into something music. So I remember I borrowed some money from mum and dad as pocket money when we were away, and I had to pay it back, obviously. So they said, Dad, so what are you going busk? I was going to get a job at the supermarket. And he said, why don't you go busk down in Browns Bay, go and play down there? And I said, oh, okay, give it a go. So I spent an hour busking, playing, and within minutes I was asked to play down at a little French cafe, Louis' place, down on the La Troisienne. And so I was there for about 4 years, playing every weekend, driving everyone insane. I started playing French music, and that was kind of how I started. I was approached by a producer to do an album, even at 15. So I did a little French album called Bonjour Paris, and
You keep getting the goosies as you're talking.
So that was kind of the start of it, and it kind of just snowballed. I remember doing my first wedding. I had no idea what I was doing. I remember even charging, oh gosh, I think I charged like $90 for 5 hours. I was there but I was starting out, I had no idea. But I also, I started working restaurants, and from there I was playing in K Road on Friday nights. And there was an amazing Italian restaurant called the Colosseo. And we'd have people doing the conga outside on K Road on Friday night. It was just an amazing experience. And so that's kind of how it all started. And then Vanessa May and obviously Nigel Kennedy and all those sort of artists came in at that time, that fusion, and that really inspired me. I think playing such an odd instrument, I thought this could be something I could do, and with aspiring to be this amazing, famous star, by the time I'm 20, but it was a turning point for me. Yes. From that traditional, and when you say classical, I mean, I did competitions. I played, for years, but it wasn't really the competition that I was interested in. It was more just making
performance opportunity,
entertaining people, making people happy, and that was what got me. I could do what I wanted. It was like being an artist and painting a canvas. I could actually just be me, play the song how I wanted to play it, rather than exactly what was on the music. So it was. That's what inspires me and makes me love what I do. I'm not textbook. I'm not textbook.
And every time you're literally creating art through your performance.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So Tracy, I know there'll be probably people looking at you going, that woman looks familiar. She looks like I've seen her somewhere before. And of course, a few years ago now, you were lucky enough to land a pretty big campaign with the Yellow Pages.
Yeah.
So for anybody watching, they might recognise your face.
Wow.
Very quickly, tell
Tracy
us about
Treehouse.
that, because I want to learn about your beautiful machine as well.
Yeah, I mean, as being a musician full time, you've got to have a few other things to add to your entourage your little toolkit. That was what I was going to say, toolkit. So yeah, I've done many auditions for many years, and I had the opportunity. It came out in the newspaper, the Rodney Times at the time, advertising to audition for this
Yellow
project.
Pages.
We didn't really know at the time. It was a project with a company, and it was very hush-hush. So, I thought, me, I'll give it a go. So I auditioned. There was over 1,000 people that auditioned for that. And I didn't realise how big it was going to be. Basically, it turned out to be Yellow Pages.
Wow.
By the way, you were building a restaurant up a tree using Yellow Pages. I'm like, okay, sure. So that was it. And I was very, very fortunate. I got down to the last two, and wham, I got it. I was just saying before, it was funny telling my mum, because she said, what are you doing? And I said, well, I'm building this restaurant. And she said, do you know what you're doing? I said, absolutely no idea, but this is live. This is what is fun. You've got to take these challenges. And I just so yeah, I spent 4 months up in Warkworth,
Yes.
up by the Redwoods Forest.
Yep.
And we built this amazing tree house. And so I was using all platforms. I was the project manager
Yes.
for Yellow Pages, and so we had a big team, and I had to sort of find companies through Yellow Pages, online, through phone, internet, through the pages itself, and source people to come on board to help with the build.
Yes.
And then also we had to run the restaurant as a restaurant for a month as well.
Wow.
To add on top of that. So, yeah, that
Did you
was...
get to perform live in the
Oh, of
restaurant?
course I did. I played up in a tree.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I know too you've had a great corporate level group that you led some years ago called TNT, and you guys were
Yep.
travelling a lot. And it was all based around this premise of this marvellous machine.
Yes.
That was the core of it. So speaking of marvellous machines and that sort of corporate level entertainment, bring it over.
Yeah.
Hey, let's have a quick listen, because this is one of the Roland piano accordions.
This is a Roland
right?
digital accordion, yeah, the FR8.
Hopefully
yeah.
we can get you
see?
feeling comfortable.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is the top of the range Roland accordion. This type of accordion was brought out over 12 years ago, probably. This one is the recent one they've brought out, but I purchased this last year. So
So you give us a little bit of, can you do a little bit of my favourite Englishman in New York?
sure. We can see what we've got. We've got an accordion. I've got to press all these these. Here we go.
It's so much more than what we think of for an accordion.
I know, right?
Oh,
Yeah, or something like
yeah. Well, Tracy, I think you're remarkable. I'm so glad we could have you on the show. And of course, you've got your new iteration coming out, which is launching very
Yes,
shortly,
yes.
the Tracy Collins Collective, where you're collaborating with musicians from all walks of life, all genres, from dance music through to that more classical kind of outlet, rock, pop, everything.
a mix of stuff.
And
yeah.
you'll be launching that for the corporate market, is that
Absolutely,
right? And
yeah.
weddings?
Yeah, or anything.
Special
Yeah,
events.
anything,
Yeah,
anything.
look, I know we're super excited to see that launch. And of course, if you want to find out more about Tracy, you can follow her, in fact, online. So at the moment, before her website launches, you can find her by searching on Instagram for Tracy Accordion, or you can look on Facebook for Tracy Collins Accordion. Is that right?
So Instagram's Accordion Tracy.
Oh, Accordion
Just to
Tracy.
confuse you, and Tracy Collins Accordion. I need to change that.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Facebook. Anyway.
There you go. But do look out for her, and if you want to get in touch, you can connect with her directly through those social platforms. Well, Tracy, I love you.
Love you.
You're amazing. Thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
in with this marvellous machine, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
It's Monique here. I'm visiting Beds and Lounge Direct today, and I've just been learning about the difference between the type of mattress and your body. So what I've just learnt today is that if you're looking for a firmer mattress, you actually have to consider, how do I sleep? So if you sort of tend to sleep on your side, this is a good piece of information for you. You can see right over here, if you are a side sleeper, you want a softer mattress. If you are a back sleeper, you want a mattress that's a little bit firmer. And if you're a tummy sleeper, like me, you want actually something that's going to actually be a bit firmer and keep your spine in alignment. This mattress is beautiful, a little bit firmer, so really good for those tummy sleepers. And if you're looking for something a bit softer, now both of these are the Lincoln mattress. This one's a lot softer, so if you are a side sleeper, this is good for you. The reason why, and I was today years old when I learnt this, is that if you sleep on a softer mattress, if you're a side sleeper, it just means you won't get those sore pressure points in your shoulder and your hip. So there you go, there's a tip from us here, from me to you. Have a great day.